Picture this. You walk into a room full of colleagues, and instead of that familiar knot in your stomach, you feel confident. People listen when you speak. They trust what you say. They respect your presence. What changed? It wasn't your words, it was your eye contact. If you've ever felt invisible in meetings, questioned during presentations, or like people just don't take you seriously, even though you know your stuff, this isn't about you being broken or lacking something fundamental. It's about mastering one of the most powerful tools in human communication that most of us were never taught properly. I'm Tony, and today we're diving deep into eye contact mastery, not the surface level, just look at people advice, but the real psychology behind building authentic connections and commanding respect through strategic eye contact. Because here's what I've learned. Confidence isn't something you fake until you make it. It's something you build, one genuine connection at a time. In the next few minutes, I'll share the exact techniques that transformed my own professional presence and helped thousands of others move from feeling overlooked to being genuinely heard. We'll explore the science behind why eye contact works, the specific methods that create trust instantly, and how to overcome those internal barriers that keep us looking away when we need to lean in. You know that feeling when someone really sees you during a conversation? When they're not just waiting for their turn to talk, but actually present with you? That's the power we're unlocking today. And if you're thinking, but Tony, I'm naturally shy, or what if it feels awkward? I get it. I used to avoid eye contact because I was convinced everyone could see right through me. But what I discovered changed everything. Let's start with something most people get wrong about eye contact communication. It's not about staring people down or trying to dominate them. Real eye contact mastery is about creating a bridge moment where two people connect authentically. And here's the fascinating part. When you maintain eye contact in conversation, you're not just looking at someone. You're actually rewiring their brain to trust you. Recent research shows that appropriate eye contact triggers the release of oxytocin, the same hormone that bonds parents to their children. Within seconds of genuine eye contact, the other person's brain literally starts to feel safer with you. Their guard comes down. They lean in. They listen more deeply. This isn't manipulation, it's communication at its most human level. But here's where it gets really interesting. Most of us think eye contact is binary, either you're looking at someone or you're not. But professional presence is built on something much more sophisticated. It's about the rhythm, the duration, and the intention behind your gaze. Let me share the 35-second rule that changed everything for me. When you're speaking, maintain eye contact for 35 seconds before naturally looking away. When you're listening, you can extend this to 710 seconds. This creates what researchers call optimal arousal, not too intense, not too distant, but just right for building connection. I remember the first time I consciously applied this. I was in a meeting where I usually felt like background noise. Instead of my usual pattern of looking at my notes or out the window, I practiced the 35-second rule. Something shifted. People started asking for my opinion. They remembered what I said. The same words, but delivered with intentional eye contact, carried completely different weight. Here's what most communication training misses. It's not just about looking at people, it's about how you look at them. There's a difference between staring and connecting. Staring comes from insecurity, from trying to prove something. Connecting comes from genuine curiosity about the other person. When you shift from I need to look confident to I'm genuinely interested in what you're saying, your eye contact becomes magnetic instead of uncomfortable. Now, let's talk about the 5070 rule that most people have never heard of. When you're speaking, aim for 50 eye contact looking at your listener about half the time, naturally breaking away to gather your thoughts. When you're listening, bump it up to 70. This creates the perfect balance of attention and approachability. Too much eye contact while speaking can feel aggressive. Too little while listening signals disinterest. But what about group settings? This is where most people panic. You're in a meeting with 8 people and you're supposed to look at everyone? Here's the secret. Use the Lighthouse Technique. Like a lighthouse beam, let your gaze sweep naturally across the group, spending 35 seconds with each person. When you make a key point, anchor it with one person for those full 5 seconds, then continue your sweep. This makes everyone feel included while creating moments of genuine connection. I learned this the hard way during a presentation to senior leadership. I was so nervous that I kept looking at the one person who was smiling and nodding. By the end, I'd basically given a 20-minute presentation to one person while 7 others felt completely ignored. The feedback was brutal but fair. Now, I consciously practice the Lighthouse Technique, and it's transformed how people respond to my presentations. And here's something crucial we need to address. Virtual meetings. The rules change completely when you're looking at a screen instead of a person. Your eye contact communication needs to adapt to this digital reality. The secret? Look at your camera, not your screen. I know it feels weird at first. But when you look at your camera, you're making eye contact with everyone on the call. When you look at their faces on your screen, you appear to be looking down or away from them. Here's a practical tip that saved my virtual presence. Put a small arrow or smiley face sticker next to your camera. It gives you a reference point and reminds you where to look. Also, position your camera at eye level. Nothing undermines your professional presence like looking up someone's nose or down at the top of their head. But let's get real for a moment. What if you're naturally shy? What if eye contact feels overwhelming or intrusive? I used to think there was something wrong with me because maintaining eye contact felt like staring into the sun. My palms would sweat, my mind would go blank. I'd look away and immediately feel like I'd failed some invisible test. Here's what I wish someone had told me earlier. You don't have to be naturally outgoing to master eye contact. You just need to start where you are and build gradually. Begin with people you trust, friends, family members, friendly colleagues. Practice the 35-second rule in low-stakes conversations. Notice how it feels. Pay attention to how people respond differently when you're fully present with them. One technique that helped me overcome the awkwardness is the triangle gaze. Instead of trying to stare directly into someone's eyes, let your gaze softly move between their eyes and mouth, forming an imaginary triangle. This feels more natural and less intense while still maintaining that crucial connection. It's like training wheels for confident eye contact. Cultural sensitivity is crucial here too. In some cultures, direct eye contact with authority figures or elders is considered disrespectful. In others, it's expected. The key is reading the room and adjusting accordingly. But here's what's universal: genuine interest in another person. When your eye contact comes from a place of authentic curiosity rather than a need to prove yourself, it transcends cultural barriers. Let me share a story that illustrates the real power of this. I once worked with a client, let's call her Maria, who was consistently passed over for promotions despite being the most skilled person on her team. She was brilliant, hardworking, and kind. But in meetings, she'd look at her laptop screen, her notes, anywhere but at the people she was addressing. She thought she was being respectful, but others interpreted it as lack of confidence or disinterest. We worked on her eye contact communication for just 3 weeks. Nothing fancy, just practicing the 35-second rule and the triangle gaze during team meetings. The transformation was remarkable. Not only did she get promoted within 2 months, but people started seeking her out for advice. Same person, same skills, but now her professional presence matched her expertise. This is where eye contact becomes part of your broader nonverbal communication toolkit. It's not just about where you look, it's about how your entire presence aligns. When your eye contact is confident, your posture naturally straightens. Your voice becomes clearer. Your gestures become more purposeful. Everything starts working together to create authentic presence. Here's something fascinating. When you master eye contact, you also become a better listener. Real listening, not just waiting for your turn to talk, requires you to be fully present with someone. And you can't be fully present while looking at your phone, your notes, or the wall behind them. Eye contact forces you into the moment, and that's where real connection happens. Active listening becomes natural when you're genuinely engaged with someone through eye contact. You start noticing things you missed before the slight hesitation before they answer, the way their eyes light up when they talk about their passion project, the moment they need encouragement rather than advice. These subtle cues are invisible when you're not fully present. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. What happens when someone else avoids eye contact with you? This used to frustrate me endlessly. I'd think, I'm making an effort to connect. Why aren't they? But here's what I learned. Their eye contact patterns aren't about you. They might be shy, culturally conditioned differently, or simply having a difficult day. Your job isn't to force connection, it's to create a safe space where connection can happen naturally. The most powerful thing you can do in these situations is remain steady in your own presence. Continue offering genuine, non-demanding eye contact. Often people will gradually mirror your energy if you're patient and consistent. But sometimes they won't, and that's okay too. Your confidence can't depend on other people's responses. Here's a quick checklist for avoiding common eye contact mistakes. Don't stare. Remember the 35-second rule. Don't shift your eyes rapidly. This signals nervousness. Don't look away immediately when someone meets your gases suggests discomfort. Don't focus on just one person in a group setting. Use the Lighthouse Technique. And don't forget to blink naturally. It sounds silly, but nervous people often blink too much or too little. Most importantly, don't make eye contact a performance. The goal isn't to impress anyone or prove how confident you are. The goal is genuine connection. When you approach eye contact from a place of curiosity rather than insecurity, it becomes natural instead of forced. Let me give you some practical scenarios to practice. Next time you're ordering coffee, maintain gentle eye contact with the barista while saying thank you. Notice how it feels different from looking at the register or your phone. In your next video call, try the camera trick I mentioned. During conversations with friends or family, practice the triangle gaze. These low-pressure situations are perfect for building your confidence. For workplace influence, try this. In your next meeting, when someone asks a question, make eye contact with them for the first few seconds of your response. You'll notice they lean in slightly, unconsciously signaling that they're more engaged. When you're listening to a presentation, maintain respectful eye contact with the speaker. You'll often find they start directing more of their energy towards you, and you'll retain more information. Here's something I discovered that might surprise you. Mastering eye contact isn't just about how others perceive you, it's about how you perceive yourself. When you can look someone in the eye and speak your truth, you start believing in your own worth. When you can listen with full presence, you develop deeper empathy. When you can maintain composure under pressure, you build unshakable confidence. The ripple effects are incredible. Better eye contact leads to stronger listening skills. Stronger listening skills lead to deeper relationships. Deeper relationships lead to more opportunities. More opportunities lead to career advancement. But it all starts with that simple decision to be fully present with another human being. As we wrap up, I want you to remember this. You're not trying to become someone else. You're not trying to fake confidence or manipulate anyone. You're simply learning to show up as your authentic self in a way that allows others to see, hear, and connect with you. That's what real professional presence is. Not a mask you wear, but a bridge you build. Your homework, if you choose to accept it, is simple. Choose one relationship, maybe a colleague, a friend, or a family member, and practice intentional eye contact for just 1 week. Notice what shifts. Notice how they respond differently. Notice how you feel differently. Don't try to change everything at once. Just start where you are. Eye contact mastery isn't about becoming a different person. It's about becoming more yourself, the version of you who deserves to be seen, heard, and respected. Because you do deserve that. You always have. Drop a comment below and let me know. What's one situation where you'd love to feel more confident with your eye contact? Maybe it's job interviews, team meetings, or even just everyday conversations. Share your challenge. Chances are someone else is dealing with the same thing, and we can support each other. Remember, your presence is a gift to the world. The only question is, are you ready to unwrap it? I'm Tony, and your story of connection and authentic presence is just beginning. Keep growing, keep connecting, and I'll see you in the next video.